Huge game Sunday between the Texans and the Ravens. It has major playoff implications in the AFC as both squads look to keep pace with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson will take center stage as both make their case to be the MVP. On paper, it's about as even as it gets. Most surprising here is Deshaun Watson only having one less rushing touchdown than Lamar Jackson, who we all know is the best running quarterback in the NFL. All right, the question here is, who will make the bigger MVP statement Sunday, Watson or Lamar? And I'm sure we're all in agreement it's going to be Deshaun Watson.
I mean, after you set it up that way, I hate to go with Deshaun Watson, but I am going with Deshaun Watson on this one. And I think the conversations have been so largely focused in on how amazing Lamar Jackson has been with this run, and rightfully so, very well deserved. But I think sometimes you lose sight and you lose perspective on the talent that Deshaun Watson is. And now you have the opportunity to see Rocky and Clubber Lang come to the ring and slug it out and see who's got it. And I'm excited to watch it. I know there's going to be a lot of people, you know, we've heard the quotes from Steve Young and the things that he's had to say about the comparisons between the two. I think a lot of conceptions or preconceived notions as to which one versus the other will pan out and play out in this one game. But I think Deshaun has the most to prove going into this game. I think the stage is set for him to prove that he should be in those conversations at a much rapid clip of discussion versus where it is currently now.
I'm going to say Deshaun Watson, but I'm not too certain of that pick. Lamar Jackson is phenomenal, and J.J. Watt's hurt defensively. Houston Texans, they have the third-ranked rush defense in the NFL. But when you talk Baltimore and what they present and all the different looks, are they going to be able to maintain that against this type of team? I just don't know. But when I look at it, they went toe-to-toe in college when Deshaun Watson was at Clemson and Lamar Jackson was at Louisville. They both got off. Deshaun Watson came out on top. Lamar Jackson wins a Heisman Trophy that year, but it's one of those things where Deshaun Watson, number one, he's a better thrower of the football. Neither team defensively in the secondary is that great, but on paper, you look at Baltimore Ravens, you say, Marcus Peters has come over from the Rams, been balling. They got Marlon Humphreys. They got Earl Thomas. And they have good players, and they shut New England down. That defensive front got after him. Tom Brady's a statue. Lamar Jackson can move around. I mean, Deshaun Watson can move around. So I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. I'm not too certain of it. I just like his weapons better offensively through the air.
You know, I must talk about Lamar Jackson first, because I remember when I told you this, Jason, I said that Ozzie Newsome drafted Deshaun Watson, and I asked him, I said, tell me, is he that? I mean, because I just wasn't sure. He said, Eric, he said, he can play the position. He said, we didn't draft him as a project. He said, it's going to take him some time, but he can play the position. And it's paying off, as you see.
You said that, Eric.
Thank you for giving me that credit, not arguing with me.
Yeah.
But
You've been good the last 2 seconds.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're the best. But when I look at these two teams, I think Deshaun Watson is more of the MVP type. I look at him as like a Tom Brady type quarterback. I mean, he doesn't have the Bill Belichick, but he's that kind of player. He can run, he can throw. He doesn't look to run the football first. I think when I look at Patrick Mahomes, I look at him as a Peyton Manning type, a guy that's probably have all the records, but may never have a Super Bowl. He might get one. I look at Lamar Jackson as almost like Michael Vick. It's a different league, but so it protects the quarterback more. You know, back in our day, running quarterback, first thing you think, oh, we want you to run. You ain't gonna last long. A running quarterback can survive in the National Football League now. I think if you don't have a guy that is agile, that can get out of the way, can make things happen with his legs, it's gonna be hard for your team to be successful. I mean, I just go even to my team, the Rams. Our quarterback is not agile. He can't be. He's not even close to one of these guys. And you see, when you don't have an offensive line, it's hurting us. With Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, in a sense, they don't need that, because I can get out the way. Look, Deshaun Watson has a terrible offensive line. So, but for as an MVP and a guy playing well in this game, I'm going to take Deshaun Watson.
I guess I'm going to shock everybody and kind of flip as I thought about this game last night and this morning. I don't like Houston's secondary, and I think this will be another one of those games where we're sitting back at the end of it going, damn, Lamar throws the ball better than I thought.
Man, they're 29th against the pass. That's the thing with Houston.
Right. And so the advantage I think that Houston does have is Baltimore just played New England. When Romeo Crennel is watching the film, he's got a lot of institutional knowledge of what Bill Belichick was trying to do, and he can start trying to visualize. Romeo's the defensive coordinator for the Texans, how he would try to implement some of those things and the adjustments that New England made after the first quarter getting torched by Lamar. But I just go back to, I don't like Houston's secondary. Lamar, every time, I go into every Lamar game saying, this is probably going to be the Sunday where his awkward throwing motion catches up with him. And every time he's throwing into these tight windows, and I'm like, damn. I think Lamar is going to exceed expectations. I expect Deshaun Watson to play well, but we may be sitting here and like, damn, Lamar threw for 300 yards. And he doesn't do that often. He normally throws for 200 or so, runs for 100 or so. This may be a game where Lamar wows us with his passing for a Sunday.
I'm excited to see the game. I think there's a lot of storylines going into the game. And when you look at Lamar Jackson, I think the reason why the stage is set for Deshaun Watson to prove that he should be in that discussion is because of the things that you just said about Lamar, what he can bring to the table, what he possesses. We're still trying to figure out how to identify what type of player Lamar Jackson is, and I don't think any of us are clear on what that is at this moment. But for Deshaun Watson, I'm looking at this as, here's his golden opportunity to show the world, like, look, I went head-to-head with Drew Brees, and you know what? The outcome was as close as it could be. What's the difference going up against this guy other than to prove that up-and-coming young guns, I can prove that I have just as much potential or upside as he does. And I think he's 100% aware of that going into this game, and he'll show.
You know what helps also is Houston knows the hype around this matchup. One is 2 MVP candidates, it's 2 black quarterbacks, and they want to have Deshaun Watson's back. But they know their secondary. They just claimed Vernon Hargreaves from Tampa Bay Bucks that was just released. He was a top 15 pick corner. And so they know they need help in the secondary. But when you have a matchup like this, those guys, they don't want to let him down, because if they win this, it's going to bring publicity, number one, to Deshaun Watson and to everybody else on the team if they can perform and play well. Lamar Jackson is what you said. I'm not 100% certain that he's going to be able to shred the secondary. He shreds secondaries when he gets in a bunch formations with the 3 tight ends. He hits you in the seam. He'll hit you down the middle. And Romeo Crennel, what you said, being with Bill Belichick, you have to take that away. You have to take that away. You can give up a run here and there when they're in those type of formations in that personnel grouping, but you can't give up the big chunks through the air, and I just don't see it happening. Not with Romeo Crennel being a D coordinator.
When you think about Deshaun Watson, he's probably sit and watched everybody talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is, you know? And like, what I'm like, and I'm sure you say, what about me? Look at my numbers. When he played Tom Brady last year, I mean, they should have won that football game. They played Drew Brees this year. They should have won that football game. I think of Lamar Jackson, when I look at him, you know, and people, and coaches have said this, when you look at him on film, you know he's fast. But when you see him in person,
it's a different type fast.
It's a different kind of fast. And I think that's why he's so dangerous. But in this football game, you know, a guy that I want, because I just feel like he's a winner, he knows how to win, I got to take Deshaun Jackson.
Either one of them, in y'all's opinion, have more pressure on them, more to prove in this game?
I don't think so. And I think the cool thing, you brought this up, I believe yesterday, this could turn into a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady deal where it's a matchup for the ages. So I think the pressure is to be the best that you could possibly be. And coming into the game, I'm certain as that knowing what a competitor feels going into these type of matchups, there is a healthy feeling of, I need to get down and I need to get off because I know that this guy that plays my same position on the other side of the ball is going to bring his game.
It's a healthy respect on both sides. But you look at Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's gone against Mahomes. That was a matchup. He's gone against Brady. That was a matchup. He's gone against Russell Wilson. That was a matchup. So now for Lamar, this par for the course. I'm going against Deshaun now. Okay, let's see what I can do. for Deshaun Watson, he hasn't been in these type of matchups where he's come out on top, but he's played in so many big games throughout his career when you go back to college that they're not going to put undue pressure on themselves to say, I want to outdo him. In the back of their minds,
they want to outdo him.
I want to outdo him, but I don't believe them being in the type of games they've been in throughout their career thus far early in their career that they'll put that type of pressure on themselves.
No, I agree with you. He has been in a game with Patrick Mahomes. Even Patrick got hurt. But he did win that game. And as a matter of fact, I had a bet on that game with a guy. So I was like, man, I say, finally, someone seeing really how good Deshaun Jackson really is. And think about it. You know, he doesn't have a great offensive line at all. I mean, he's a quarterback that I do like. He doesn't take off running first. He looks and holds it and throws it when he has to. And if he has to run, and he has to run.
Eric, when you play, did you ever play against Walter Payton in the same game?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that feeling that, like, oh, I'm fitting to...
Oh, prime example, when we first played against the Bears, I knew Walter, knew who he was. I didn't want to go over and say anything. I wanted to meet him after the game. And after the game, I had 149 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I went over and I said, "What's up, Mr. Payton?" Eric Dixon. I got a picture. He said, "I know who you are." And so, yeah, most definitely. You may not say it. You'll say, "Oh no, it's no big deal," but deep down, yeah, you want to play better.
All right, Darnell. Texans-Ravens, one of the Super 6 matchups this weekend.
Yes, sir, it is. And before the games kick off on Sunday, be sure to download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play for free for a chance to win $250,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money. Like you just said, we're locked. Texans and Ravens is one of the Super 6 games this week. Help our fans win some money. Who you got?
I think the Texans are +4 points going into this game.
They are.
I had every intention of betting on the Texans. I'm staying out of this game. I just want to watch it, enjoy it. I don't want to have any money on it. I think the Ravens are going to win 27-24.
Yeah,
wow.
I fall on par with that. That's so funny. I'm going 31-24 Ravens in this game. I know we say the biggest upside for this, or to prove yourself, is Deshaun Watson, but I didn't mean that they're going to win or get the results they're looking for. This is Lamar Jackson we're talking about, so I'm going with
Deshaun Watson will ball out. I was going to say 27-24. Now I'm going to go 28-27 Baltimore.
I'm going with the hometown team, me and being from Texas, Deshaun Watson, 27-20.
All right, coming up, the AFC North is legendary for its tough play, but last night it crossed the line. We get into that